Hi, these comments are for DU. I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of the lessons at OTCOnline and you're doing the free TOEFL writing evaluation. And I also have, just to keep me honest here, I also have the rubrics. And I read your essay, and I'm thinking in the high three area. I think displays unity, progression, coherence, though connection of ideas may be occasionally obscured, may demonstrate inconsistent facility in sentence formation and word choice. I think a little bit in that area. Okay, so why did I give you the score that I did? So the good news is you seem to have some good control over your language use, which is a good thing, but you still don't have the structure, I think, and the depth that you need. So first of all, if we look at the word count here, it's 365 words. That's all you wrote in 30 minutes. In my opinion, that's not very impressive. So I recommend, instead of saying two reasons, maybe add three. So instead of two body paragraphs, you have three. You can develop the introduction maybe a little bit more than what you did there, to maybe 25 to 50 words, and then you can get the introduction maybe about 25 words more, right? But the one thing that you really need to work on is a thesis. So I feel this way for two reasons, which I will explore in the essay below. And then my personal experience is a compelling example of this. I have heard both of these sentences way too many times. Now, I grade, roughly 15 to 20 practice tests a day. No, no, wait a minute. I grade maybe 10 to 15 writing practice tests a week, right? So I'm not seeing that many. Now, if I recognize it, what do you think is going to happen when you take the TOEFL exam and you have an IBT human rater who's scoring essays 3 hours every day, Monday through Friday? That means they could see 10 to 15 essays a day, and they will surely see these two sentences. So this one, you can just get rid of all of that. I mean, look at it, doesn't do anything. And it's so artificial. I can tell you put it in there, it's a template. But if you just take a word like this, instead of using that copied sentence, just say, for instance, while I was learning the French language, right? So you can change that sentence to this. And then for this one, I feel this way for two reasons, right? So I'm going to show you a trick. So I kind of skimmed through your body paragraphs to see what you were trying to do in those paragraphs, right? And then I created a thesis here. So you said it would be extremely unfair for the teacher and to the society in general if we were to incentivize in this way. I feel this way for two reasons, which I will explore in the essay below. Look at that. So you have one sentence here, which is only 23 words, and then you have this one, which is 16 words. So the most important sentence in the whole essay, it's only 16 words. Do you think that the ETS's scoring engine is going to be impressed with a 16-word sentence, and a sentence that they've seen hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of times? I don't think so. So I took what you wrote. I'm going to combine this into just one sentence. It's 38 words. So here's what I'm saying. It would be, just say unfair. It will be unfair for the teacher and to society in general if educational institutions, notice how I use this instead of we, right? We, who are we? As far as I can tell, there's nothing previously in that paragraph that refers to that. So I put, if educational institutions incentivized in this way, because students have varying levels of motivation. So you see this idea? So I took this idea, and you kind of talk about motivation, but you also talk about ability, but I wouldn't do both of those things in that paragraph, right? And then you put, and teachers may lean toward preferential teaching of exam preparation, and that seems to be the focus of this paragraph. So let's get rid of this, which doesn't do anything at all to help you in your writing, right? And then you got this. So now we have a specific thesis with two support points, but still you start off with there are all kinds of students. To me, that doesn't do anything to give the paragraph a purpose. Say to begin with, teachers should not be paid based on their student learning because students have varying levels of motivation, which is beyond the educator's control or something. Then when you get to this next one, teachers might find shortcuts to make students do well just on exams. You can say if teachers are paid solely on how much students learning, then they may lean toward preferential treatment of exam preparation. You can take that second idea. So I think you're not going to score better. The first thing is you need a much better thesis. That's step one. Once you have the thesis, then you can create your topic sentences. But because your thesis was very general, your topic sentence ended up being very general. And that's another reason why you should not use those templated thesis sentences that you see on the internet. That's a bad idea right there in and of itself. Okay, and then one more thing. I'm going to show you just a grammatical correction in one of your sentences, keeping in mind that there's a lot of other errors in there also. And that's why I'm putting you right around 22 points out of 30 on this. So you say, furthermore, teachers might find short. No, this. It says, if the teacher was paid, he would have earned a lot less, which would have which no, you got a lot of things going on here. So first of all, we got had been, right? Present past perfect. So if the teacher had been paid based on how well the students acquired the knowledge, he would have earned a lot less, which would have demotivated him. Why am I doing this? Right? So it looks like you're giving an example of something in the past. And then you're talking about a hypothetical situation about that past example. So to me, that's a past impossible implied reality, which calls for more past perfect tense verbs. That's why I changed this to had been paid. So I think you need to develop better control over your verb tenses, especially when you're talking about hypothetical type situations that might happen in either the present or the past. You need to work on controlling your verbs better in that area, but also other areas as well. Okay, so that's why I scored you the way I did. I think you got a good shot at getting 24. I'm not saying you couldn't get 24 in the next TOEFL exam. I think for you, I mean, you went ahead and used this free service, so I'm going to sell you a little bit about a service I have. I have a TOEFL writing boot camp course. It's not cheap, right? However, if you go through that course, I can get your writing where you should be able to score between 29 and 30 points. I can really do this. And in your case, I can probably do this in about 4 weeks, right? So we need to do work on your thesis statements, your topic sentences, but I think even in your paragraphs, you need a little bit better unity. And the unity is established by a more clearly marked topic sentence and then relevant supporting details. I think you can do a little bit better with that, right? So I think if you go back to onlinetoeflcourse.com, check out my TOEFL Writing Bootcamp course. I think this is a good fit for you based on your current writing abilities. All right? And have a happy new year, really, 2021. And I really hope that this next year is better than 2020, but any year can be better than 2020, am I right? I mean, let's face it, this has been pretty difficult for many people to say the least. But anyway, thank you for doing the writing practice test.